Hello, everyone. For this week's not discussion, but for this week's speech, we were asked to do an informative speech. Um, I started thinking about a topic to talk about, a topic that I would probably know a lot of information about to make this speech informative. But the first thing that came to mind was stress. So that's what this speech is going to be about, stress. We've all been stressful. We've all been stressed out at some point in time in our lives, no matter who you are, young or old, you've been stressed out about some situation, and it's just something that all of us as individuals here on earth is going to have to deal with at some point in our time. Stress, it can affect you mentally, emotionally, and physically. Um, it can affect your health really bad. It can give you high blood pressure, high cholesterol. Stress is just a silent killer, is what it is. And I feel that everyone should know more about stress. That way, when things do come up, you can kind of handle them in a better way, so that you won't get stressed out about whatever situation that you're in. We've all had some stressful times in our lives, and stress is just something that we'll have to deal with. After doing some research about stress, on this website that I came across when I was doing the research, um, it's www.ADAA, and that stands for Anxiety Disorders Associations of America. And what they said was that 80% of college students say that they're stressed out at least frequently or sometimes experience stress daily throughout their day in college. And 34% of those college students said that they felt depressed and stressed out some point in the past 3 months that they've been at college. And I can agree with that. I can feel them on that because college does stress you out if you can't handle the heavy workload that you have. I mean, you have papers, you have projects, you have exams, you have midterms, you have finals. You have all of these things that's crammed into you all at one time, and you're stressed out because you're up so late trying to get a paper turned in or trying to get finished with a paper. And whether it's online or in the classroom, they're still stressful. And um, ways that you can deal with that stress is you can not wait until the last minute to turn an assignment in. You can do that assignment a couple days ahead of time. If they give you an assignment that's due in May, then you may want to start looking at that assignment in April and getting some of those things done, because then that takes less stress off of yourself. Um, Another way to avoid stress with schoolwork is to try to get plenty of rest. Don't go out late and stand out late out all times of the night, and then you have to get up early for class the next morning, and now you can't concentrate because now you have a pop quiz, and now you're getting stressed out because you didn't know you was gonna have that pop quiz, but you also didn't get enough sleep that night before. Um, the second reason for being stressed out is the pressure to do well in school. Everyone has that pressure on them to do well. You try to motivate yourself to do well in school, to get good grades, and that can also trigger stress as well. And also um, the stress of trying to, how am I trying to put this? Trying to impress others. You're trying to do well for your family. You're trying to do well so that people can say, "Oh, she did so good in school," and "Oh, she get all A's," and You know, that's a big stressful. That can trigger stress also because you're trying to um, make them, you're trying to look good at the same time is really what I'm trying to say. And you don't want to let anyone down. You're trying not to let your family down. Especially like myself, I'm the first child that my mom has, and she has four of us. I'm the first child that's in college. And I do not want to drop out of college. I do not want to flunk out of college because I feel like I'm letting my family down. My younger brother, he's looking up to me, so I have to be a role model for him. And sometimes it does get hard, and but I still have to just stick it out. I have a 4-year old, so I want her to be able to say, well, my mom went to college and she has a college degree. So trying to balance all of that at one time, it can be stressful. Um, 71% of college students say that their grades are in alignment with their stress to do well in school. This can affect more than others. And the third reason for stress is a new environment. Whether you're moving from one school to another, or you're moving from one town to the next, or you're leaving off for college, that's a big stress trigger too, because especially if you've never been anywhere, if you never went outside of your town or out of state, that's a big stress because now you have to think about, well, I'm leaving my family, so I won't see them in a couple of months, and I've never been away from them. Secondly, I'm leaving my friends. I have to make new friends, and that could be a big stress trigger for us too, because we don't like change, and a new environment is a huge change, and you have to get adjusted to that environment. You have to get adjusted to, well, now I have to wake up on my own. I don't have anyone to wake me up, and now I have to do my work on my own because the teacher is not going to constantly remind me to turn my work in. That's just something that you have to do on your own. So yeah, stress is stress is a silent killer, and everyone has to deal with stress in some point in their lives. But hopefully, the facts that I've given you about stress and the ways that you can prevent them by getting a good night's rest and to plan ahead of time. Think of ways that you can do things ahead of time, or just think of some ways that you can make your life a lot easier without having to get stressed out. And I hope that this informative speech gave a lot of information about my topic, stress. And I hope that you guys don't get stressed out anytime soon. Thanks.